And one of the, to me, more compelling reasons is the fact that in Philadelphia, among public school teachers, those who have school-age kids, 44% of them have them in private school. Now, that is contrasted to only 10% of the American families, average family, that have their kids in private school. Only 6% of black families do. And in Chicago, around 39% of public school teachers with school-age kids have their kids in private school. In LA, I think it's around 28%, something like that. Now, what does that tell you? The people who know the school system the best don't put their own kids in it. And I find it incredible that the Democratic Party has been able to get away with this. And by this, I mean this. You look at polls of black and brown parents who live in the inner city and ask them if they want choice in school, and the majority of them do. You look at polls of white Democrats who wouldn't have their kid in an urban school district in a million years, and they're opposed to school choice. Yet, inner city parents, most blacks, pull that lever to the tune of 95% for the party that is denying your child the possibility of getting a superior education. I don't get it. Now, you're going to hear a lot about how charter schools don't work and how this doesn't work and that doesn't work. When you look at the studies from people like Patrick Wolf, who is an educator at University of Arkansas, and Bill Clinton used him as an expert to study his educational initiatives. And based on his analysis, he says there's no question that school choice, private school vouchers have improved test scores, reading scores, math scores, graduation rates, parental satisfaction. And so there's no mystery here. And one of the reasons some of the so-called charter schools don't do well is because the teachers' union pressure and lard them up with so many rules and regulations that they're almost virtually indistinguishable from a public school. You can't fire a teacher. And it's also a myth that America does not spend as much on education as other countries do. I think I told you about this. I got into a dispute with a judge who went to Harvard for law school, who was a big proponent of education. And we're at a party, and he insisted that America was underspending on education. I said, are you kidding? We spend more on education, K through 12, than virtually any other country on the face of the earth. I think the only possible exceptions are Luxembourg and Switzerland. He goes, oh, no. And later on, he checked, of course, and had to admit that I was right. Didn't even know that. It's not the money. We're spending plenty of money. And one more thing, and this is critical, because the caller was blasting teachers. I don't blast teachers. We have some incompetent ones, I would say about 10%. Most of them are quite competent. They're trying to do a good job. They're in lockstep on pay, so really good teachers aren't paid any more than really bad teachers. That doesn't make any sense to me. Zero. But if you don't have somebody in your home to instruct the student to go to bed on time and to make sure that student has done his or her homework, it really doesn't matter a whole lot about the school system. So the parent's job is to deliver a child on the doorstep of that school who has been fed, clothed, housed, and who has done his homework and who has been educated to the point where he understands he has to behave in an orderly fashion in order to learn. That is the parent's job, and the teacher will take it from there. They're not supposed to be counselors, therapists, sex counselors. They're supposed to be teachers. Reading, writing, math. I'm Larry Elder.
Larry Elder, all true, all devastating.